You are him. The one they call the Baba Yaga. How do I start doing what you do?
Looks like you already have.
And here we got another spin-off of a successful franchise. The John Wick franchise has been one of the best action franchises in the recent years. And with John Wick 4 it was supposed to be the ending, at least for the main franchise. But not with the news we got in April that John Wick 5 is actually coming out, but not for a while yet. And these spin-offs were planned before John Wick 4. We got the Amazon Prime TV show, and now we have Ballerina. There will also be a spin-off movie with Donnie Yen's character from John Wick 4. So there is a lot of content coming out from the world of John Wick. And the second in line after the Prime TV show is this movie Ballerina. We got introduced to the ballerinas in the John Wick movies. They are part of the same organization that John Wick is part of, the Ruska Roma. And in this movie the main character, played by Ana de Armas, has the same tattoo as John Wick on her back. We get to see her as a kid at the start and how she gets involved with this organization and how she gets to grow up and be a ballerina assassin. We're ultimately getting a John Wick movie without it being about John Wick as the main character. But there are very strong differences in the characters and how they execute their fighting and plans. This movie is basically here to expand the John Wick universe, and I really thought it succeeds in doing so. You get all-out action like in the John Wick movies, and believe me, there are a lot of cool stunt choreography in this movie too, and a lot of non-stop action, but also a lot of character building moments, at least for the main character. Ana de Armas does great in the action scenes, and she does a lot of it on her own, like Keanu Reeves in the John Wick movies. And I was thinking that she is kind of small and how it would work with a lot of the heavy lifting in the action scenes. But it's really well done. It's also explained how she approaches the fighting and how she approaches the violence in her own way. She also gives a great acting performance in the movie. And the movie is really fun. It has the connection with John Wick, and that part is very well written, and how it is a part of the John Wick main universe. But it doesn't rely on it too much, and is its own story. You basically follow this ballerina character as a kid and as she grows up, and what happens in her childhood and how she is connected to the rest of the organizations in the John Wick universe. And you can't say that you go into a John Wick movie because of its story. It's not a very in-depth story here. It's not that complex, but it works for the movie. And I have to say that I really liked what they did when it comes to the story in this movie. I at least wanted to see Ana de Armas in an action movie ever since I saw No Time to Die, the Bond movie. She was great there in the short amount she was in it. And I totally get that here. She is wonderful in here. As I mentioned earlier, the movie is well choreographed, and that is what is expected of a John Wick movie or a spin-off movie of John Wick. It's very well shot, and the action is again some of the best action in the action genre of all time. Aside from Anna de Armas, all the actors also do great with what they get in the script. Because most of these secondary characters don't get a lot here, but it's serviceable for what this kind of movie is. And the main character, the ballerina, she does get some good writing for her done here. John Wick himself does turn up, it's not a spoiler, it's in the trailers, and I think he's in there just enough for him to not be the main vocal point in the movie. He maybe gets 15 minutes of screen time in total, and the movie itself is not that long, it's about 90 minutes. So it's basically the start-off point for a feature film. And I think that's fine if the story is good enough, and it is. The movie definitely doesn't feel short or too long. It just feels long enough. And you never look at your watch to see what time it is. It's very entertaining. And I do actually hope this gets a sequel, because I would want to see more of the ballerina character. And I know there is a John Wick 5 coming, and I hope she will be in it. They did say it would be a different John Wick movie, so I really hope she's in it. The weak points I could mention is all the other characters around her. They don't get much development. And the villains in the John Wick movies are usually very colorful, but here the villain is kind of weak and not that memorable. They don't get into depth about how this organization is different than the others, aside from being a cult. And that part is actually memorable because this cult, they live in a village. A whole village by themselves in the mountains, which leads to a very exciting and fun action scene. But that's kind of it. I would have liked them to be more of a threat than what they were. It would have been in this movie's favor. Instead, what we get is just kind of serviceable. And that's fine, I guess, because overall this movie is still a lot of fun. It's still a very good action movie, and I want more. And I hope I get more, as long as it holds this level of quality. It is shown in the trailer that the ballerina and John Wick face off, and that scene is very well handled. He is not a lot in it, but he has an integral part. And it's not a cliche scene where usually the new female character wins over John Wick. It's not that at all. It would actually go against with how the character of John Wick was presented in the earlier movies. So I'm glad they don't do that mistake here, because this movie takes place between John Wick 3 and 4. So John Wick himself wouldn't have got a great character change in that time frame. So I'm glad they decided for it to make logical sense. I would definitely recommend go seeing this in the theater, because it's a very, very fun experience. It's a spin-off executed in the best way possible. I am giving Ballerina from the world of John Wick an 8 out of 10. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Also smash the bell icon so that you don't miss any of my future videos. This has been Phantom Frame. Thank you so much for watching.